Greetings for the day. Welcome to another session of computer networks. My name is Muhammad Ahmed Ali. In today's session, we are going to see the remaining part of cryptography. Before starting, let we see what we have studied in the previous session. We studied about the introduction to cryptography and the techniques used in cryptography, and in the next we have seen what are the cryptographic algorithm. What do you mean by this cryptographic algorithm? In today's session we're going to see about the types of cryptography and the different types of algorithm that is being used with reference to cryptography. Now let me start with today's session with types of cryptography. Now the first point says single key or symmetric key encryption algorithm creates a fixed length of bits known as a block cipher with a secret key that the creator or sender uses to encipher data or encryption and receiver uses to decipher for decryption of the data. So now what do you mean by the single key or symmetric encryption, in which it creates a fixed length of bits of code that you call it as a block cipher, because as what do you mean by cipher is a encoded message and it is in block. So that is for that reason it is called as a block cipher with a secret key that a creator or sender uses for encrypting the data and the receiver user is for decrypting of the data. This type of encryption and decryption is called as symmetric key encryption. Now the second point says advanced encryption standards or AES, a specification established in November 2001 by the National Institute of Standards and Technology as a federal information processing standard, okay, to protect sensitive information. The standard is mandated by the US government and widely used in private sector. This is a type of algorithm, or this is a type of cryptography that is being used for encryption and decryption of the data while sending and receiving of the information. Now what do you mean by the symmetric key algorithm? Symmetric key algorithms are sometimes referred to as secret key algorithms. This is because these type of algorithm generally use one key that is kept secret by the system engaged in the encryption and decryption process. This single key is used for both encryption and decryption. So the key in practice represents a shared secret between two or more parties that can be used to maintain a private information link. This require this requirement that both parties have the access to secret key is one of the main drawback of symmetric key encryption in comparison to public key encryption, also known as asymmetric key encryption. Now what is this all about? Symmetric and asymmetric, these are two different types of key algorithm that is being used with reference to encryption and decryption, or with reference to cryptography. Now what do you mean by the symmetric key algorithm? In this I will be using only one key for both encryption and decryption, in the sense by the key by which I have encrypted the plain text into ciphertext, the same key will be used to decrypt the ciphertext to the plain text. This mechanism or this process is called as symmetric key algorithm. In a sense, a single key is used for encryption as well as for decryption. Now what is the drawback? The drawback is the sender and receiver should know that particular key. If at all if I am a receiver, I should know what key will be used to decrypt that particular algorithm. Like I have given you an example in the last session stating that after every 4 characters I am putting an extra character. If you know this particular what you call as syntax or particular this pattern, you can easily read the message. If at all if you don't know what is the logic that I have applied, instead of 4 I have written 5, then it will be difficult for you to understand. Whereas when compared to key algorithms, if at all if I don't know the key, it is highly impossible to decrypt that particular information. So the process in which a single key is being used for encryption and decryption is called as symmetric key algorithm. The drawback is the both the parties should know the key. Now what are the types of uh, what are the different types? There are two types of symmetric key algorithm. The first one is the block algorithm and the second one is stream algorithm. Now let me see what is block algorithm. Block algorithms set length of bits are encrypted in blocks of electronic data with the use of specific secret key. As the data is being encrypted, the system holds the data in its memory as it waits for complete block. This is what we call as block algorithm. Now the second one is stream algorithm. Data is encrypted as it streams instead of being retained in the system memory. Now what do we mean by this is, in blocks the block algorithm will maintain, in streams as the data is getting encrypted it is being sent on the stream, it will be sent one after the another, one after the another. Okay, these are two different types of symmetric algorithms. Now what are the examples with reference to symmetric algorithm? Some examples of symmetric encryption algorithm includes AES, DES, IDEA. IDEA stands for International Data Encryption Algorithm, Blowfish, RC4, RC5 and RC6 type of algorithm. These are the different example with reference to symmetric key algorithms. Remember, symmetric key and asymmetric key. This is with reference to symmetric key. Okay. Now moving forward. Now what is AES and DES? Like in the previous slide we have seen the example with reference to symmetric key algorithm, AES and DES. Now what is this AES and DES? Let me see first DES. In modern computing, DES was the first standard cipher for securing electronic communication and is used in variation, example 2 key or 3 key or 3DES. The original DES is not used anymore as it is considered too weak due to the processing power of modern computers. Even 3DES is not recommended by NIST and PCI DSS 3.2, just like all 64-bit ciphers. However, 3DS is still widely used in EVM chips cards. So this is with reference to DES. This is with reference to DES. DES stands for Data Encryption Standard. Now with reference to AES, Advanced Encryption Standard. Now what is this? AES, the most common used symmetric algorithm is the Advanced Encryption Standard, which was originally known as RIGENDIL. This is the standard set by the US National Institute of Standard and Technology in 2001, so on and so forth. Data announced in US FIPS PBU 197. This standard subsidized DES, which had been in use since 1977. Under NIST, the AES cipher has a block size of 128 bit but have three different key lengths as shown with AES 128, AES 192 and AES 256. This is just an introduction with reference to what AES and what DES is all about. Moving forward, what is symmetric key encryption used for? What is the purpose? The first one is, while symmetric key encryption is an older method of encryption, it is faster and more efficient than asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric in the sense we will be using two keys that we will be seeing in the coming slides, which takes a toll on the network due to performance issues with data size and heavy CPU usage. As you see, why heavy CPU usage? Because it is getting stored on the system. It is getting stored on the system. Now second point, it says due to the better performance and faster speed of symmetric encryption compared to asymmetric, symmetric cryptography typically used for bulk encryption or encrypting large amount of data, example for database encryption. This is all about the second point where we particularly use this particular algorithm. And the last one is, in the case of database, the secret key might only be available to database itself to encrypt or decrypt. This is the purpose what symmetric encryption is used for. Moving forward, some examples of where symmetric cryptography is used are payment applications such as card transaction, where P2 needs to be protected to prevent identifying theft or fraudulent charges, and also with reference to the validation to confirm that the sender of the message is who claimed to be, random number generation or hashing. These are some of the example of symmetric cryptography. Now moving forward, what do you mean by key management for symmetric encryption? Like how key management is done for symmetric type of encryption. Now what it says, unfortunately symmetric encryption does not come with its own drawback. Its weakest point is its aspect of key management, including key exhaustion. Like there are different methods, in which the first one is key exhaustion, in which symmetric encryption suffers from behavior where every use of a key leaks some information that can potentially be used by an attacker to reconstruct the key. Now what it further says, the defenses against this behavior includes using a key hierarchy to ensure that master or key encryption key are not overused, and the appropriate rotation of key that do encrypt volumes of data. Now, to be traceable, both these solutions requires com- competent key management strategies, as if, for example, a retired encryption key cannot be recovered, the data is potentially lost. Now what do you mean by this is, a single key that we are having, and also like see, this is the reason why we are been told to change our passwords for every 3 months, and should not use the previous passwords that we have used in previous time. For an example, for every 3 months I am changing the password. So in a year, how many times I need to change the password? 4 times. 4 3s are 12. So for the 4 time cycles, you cannot reuse the previous keys. You cannot use the previous key for every other time that you are using a key. That key should be new. That key in the sense that key can be a password. The key can be a password. So if at all, if you are losing that particular key, it means you are losing complete data. If at all, if I am forgetting the password of that particular bank account, then it is very highly impossible to recover that account until and unless you physically go there and give an application stating, I forgot my password, I need to regenerate the password for my particular account. So there is a different process. Now as of now, if at all, with reference to symmetric key encryption, if the key is lost or if the key is traceable, then whole of the data is being lost. This is same with reference to the lock that we keep it on our doors. It has got only one particular key. That particular key only will be able to open that lock. If at all, if I am forgetting the key for that lock, then the thing which is been stored in that particular vault will not be recovered until and unless you break that lock. Until and unless you break the lock. Opening a lock and breaking a lock are two different things. Now the second one, what it says is attribution data. Second one is attribution data. What do you mean by this? Unlike asymmetric or public certificates or public key, symmetric key do not have embedded metadata to record information such as expiry data or an access control list to indicate the use of the key, or maybe to put to encrypt but not decrypt, for example. Okay. Now the next point it says is the latter issue is somewhat addressed by standards such as ANSI X931, where a key can be bound to information prescribing its usage. But for a full control over what a key can be used for and when it can be used, a key management system is being required, or a key management system is required. Now, this is with reference to attribution related to the data within symmetric key management. Now the next one is key management at large scale. This is also one of the things where only a few keys are involved in a scheme tens to low hundreds. The management overhead is modest and can be handled through manual human activity. However, with a large estate, tracking the expiration and arranging rotation of key quickly becomes impracticable or impractical. Now, consider an EVM payment card deployment. Millions of cards multiplied by several keys per card requires a dedicated provision and key management system. So, this is with reference to key management at large scale. Now, the second one is public key algorithm, or also known as asymmetric type of key encryption. Now, what it says, a public key algorithm, also known as an asymmetric algorithm, is one where the key used for encryption and decryption are different, and the decryption cannot be calculated from the encryption key. This allows someone to keep public private key pairs. Now, what do you mean by this? With reference to symmetric and asymmetric, understand the difference. In symmetric, only one key is used to encrypt and decrypt, whereas in asymmetric type of algorithm, public key is used to encrypt, private key is used to decrypt. Public key is used, or private key is to encrypt, public key is to decrypt. In the sense, it uses a pair of public and private key. It uses a pair of public and private key in asymmetric type of algorithm. Further, what it says, it further says, what are the characteristics of public key and encryption key? Now, the first one is, public key encryption is important because it is infeasible to determine the decryption key. Only the knowledge of the cryptographic algorithm and encryption. Now, second point says, either of the two key, public or private key, can be used for encryption without other key used for decryption. Now, the next one is, due to public key crypto system, public key can be freely shared, allowing users an easy and convenient method for encrypting content and verifying digital signatures, and private key can be kept secret, ensuring only the owners of the private key can decrypt content and create digital signatures. Now, what do you mean by this is, see, if you see with reference to the YouTube paid movies, that content will be available for public, but it is only been accessible for those people who have bought it on rent or buy, or they have buy that particular movie. They only can access that particular movie. Also, with reference to your Netflix and Amazon, different OTT platforms, it is made public, but it is been encrypted with the public key, but can be decrypted only with private key. It is being made in public domain, but with your own username and password, you can access that particular OTT platform. That is what been said over here. The next point is, the most widely used public key crypto system is RSA. The difficulty of finding the prime factor of a composite number is the backbone of RSA. See, what are the examples that I am giving is just for understanding purpose. Don't write the same thing in the examination. Just to make you understand, I am giving different examples. Now, moving forward, what are the components of public key encryption? The first one is the plain text. Now, what is a plain text? This is a message which is readable or understandable. This message is given to encryption algorithm as an input. Now, what is a ciphertext? The ciphertext is produced as an output of encryption algorithm. We cannot simply understand this particular message. Now, what do you mean by this encryption algorithm? The encryption algorithm is used to convert plain text into ciphertext. Now, what do you mean by this decryption algorithm? Decryption algorithm, it accepts the plain text as an input and the matching key, or the private key or public key, and produces the original plain text. Now, what it says further? Public and private keys. one key, either private key, secret key or public key known to everyone, is used to or used for encryption, and other is used for decryption. Now what do you mean by this? This means that with reference to the key that is being used, we are using two particular keys, public key and private key. Public key is used for encryption, private key is used for decryption. If at all private key is used for encryption, public key is used for decryption. This is a mechanism with reference to public key encryption or asymmetric type of encryption. Now, what are the weaknesses of public key encryption? The first point, it says public key encryption is vulnerable to brute force attack. The second says this algorithm also fails when the user lost his private key. Then the public key encryption become most vulnerable algorithm. Now, because as it is been encrypted with the public key, if at all if I forget my password, then it is very difficult to get the details. The next point is public key encryption also is weak towards man in middle attack. Why? Because the man in the middle attack can alter that particular message. In this attack, a third party can disrupt in public key communication and then modify the public keys. Now what it says, if users private key used for certificate creation higher in the PKI public key infrastructure server hierarchy is compromised or accidentally disclosed, then a man in middle attack is also possible, making any subordinate certificate wholly insecure. This is also the weakness of public key encryption. Like, see, when there is two words for encryption and decryption, there can be a chance wherein a third party can come in between and change the things. Like, for an instance, if at all if I say some of the words which has double meaning, some might take it in a positive way, some might take it in a negative way, some might understand in another way, the some might can understand in another way. So this is the mistake with reference to the public key encryption. Also, it has got advantages. For every advantages there is a disadvantages also. So for every advantage we have some disadvantages. So these are the weaknesses with reference to public key encryption. Now what are the applications related to asymmetric key algorithm? Now the first one, confidentiality can be achieved using public key encryption. In this, the plain text is encrypted using the receiver's public key. This will ensure that no one other than the receiver private key can decrypt the ciphertext. Now the second one is detailed signature for the sender authentication purpose. In this, sender encrypt the plain text using his own private key. Now this step will make sure the authentication of the user or the authentication of the sender, because receiver can decrypt the ciphertext using only sender's public key only. Now the last one is this algorithm can be used in both key management and secure transmission of data. Why? Because it is very easy to manage the key. Why? Because as it is been encrypted by the public key, I can decrypt it by my own private key. So in the sense, it is more secure. And also it has got secured transmission of the data. Now what do you mean by this? See, whenever you create an account for the first time, like for our college also, when the first time you logged in, it was being logged in through a public key. But for the first instance, when you entered into the account, you changed that particular key to your private key. That public key was being changed to the private key. So this is the application with reference to asymmetric type of encrypting algorithm. Now this is all with reference to symmetric and asymmetric algorithms. I hope you understood something from today's session. If at all if you have any doubt regarding today's session, you can ping me on my email address rahmat_alifu@com, or you can come down to the college for an individual doubt clarification session. Until then, take care, bye bye, and have a great day. And thank you for joining.